how can you draw triangles when you're only given the angles? In this lesson, you will learn how to draw triangles by using given angles. Let's review. If all the angles for a triangle are added up, they will always equal 180 degrees. So in this case, we have an equilateral triangle, and all angles in an equilateral triangle are 60 degrees. So 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 180 degrees. So if you're only given two angles for a triangle, you should be able to determine the last angle as well by knowing that all three of them will add up to 180 degrees. A common mistake is that when working with the protractor, it is sometimes forgotten to run the bottom of the protractor along one of the lines that form the angle. So in this case, you want to run that dark black line on the bottom of the protractor, the straight line. You want to run it along one of the lines that form the angle, with your vertex being right at the center point, and then you can determine your measurement by figuring out whether it's an acute or obtuse angle, and then you can see where it falls along the numbers. A triangle has two angles of 50 degrees and one angle of 80 degrees. Draw and then determine what type of triangle you have. So if it has two angles of 50 degrees and one angle of 80 degrees, I think that I can determine what type of triangle we're making just by looking at those angles. So see if you can figure out, just based upon those, what it is, and then we'll check it as we draw. So we're going to start by placing our protractor. We want to draw one of our lines right along the bottom here, with our vertex being right at the center point, and then we want to have our angle come up through here. So we'll draw that. So this line goes right through 50 degrees. And even though the triangle is most likely not going to be this large, I extended this line out a little bit because I don't know where this line is going to intersect with it. So if I leave myself some extra space, then I can just erase whatever extra I have afterwards. So let's get rid of that protractor and let's slide it over. So now we have our other side. And again, we want our vertex to go right from here, and our line should extend up through 50 degrees. So it does. And now you can see that we've created an isosceles triangle. We have two sides that are each congruent to one another. So let's go ahead and add in our measurement. And based upon what we learned earlier, all angles have to equal 180 degrees, or all angles in a triangle. So this is 50. If this is 50, then that's 100, which means that our last angle would have to be 80 degrees, which was the other measurement that we were given. But let's check it just to make sure. Yep, and as you can see, it does go right through 80 degrees. So we have completed our isosceles triangle, and of course you could just erase this extra part after, just like that.